lecture we discussed about many to many relationship, and we have created one uh, example entities to maintain many to many relationship, right? So we have taken example of person and car relationship. So multiple persons associated with multiple cars. Similarly, multiple cars associated with multiple person. We have created a person entity and core entity as well. And also we have created relationship with many to many relationship between person and core as well, right? So let me open the Eclipse, and we have created a core entity and person entity, and inside the person entity, so we have created cars array list objects because multiple persons can associated with multiple cars. Similarly, inside the car we have created list of person object, so multiple cars can associated with multiple persons, right? So after that, so we have defined to maintain a many to many relationship, we have declared at the rate many to many annotation. And similarly in car entity also, so to maintain a many to many relationship between car and persons, then we have declared at the rate many to many annotation. And also, so we have created person entity as owning the relationship, right? Person entity is owning the relationship. So any association mapping, whether it is one to one, one to many, or many to one, or many to many, so the main important concept is first you have to identify or you have to create any one of the entity as any one of the entity should be owning the relationship, right? So in this example I have created person entity as owning the relationship. So how you can identify person is owning the relationship? So I have declared many to many relationship without specifying mapped by attribute. So any entity, if you don't specify mapped by attribute, then that entity will become a owning the relationship, owner of the relationship. Okay. So similarly, so if any entity which is having mapped by attribute and specified with annotation, so is nothing but that entity will become a non-owning side relationship. That's it. So if you know owning side and non-owning side, then you can easily understand all the concept, and you can easily maintain the relationship between all the entities. Okay, first you have to identify, or first you have to create which entity is going to owning the relationship. So in this example I have declared person entity is owning the relationship, right? So, and I have declared core entity is non-owning set relationship by specifying mapped by attribute. So mapped by in the mapped attribute value should be, so the person, the many to many relationship which you have created person with cars, right? So this object you have to give it as this, you have to give it as mapped by in car. So what does it meaning? So it is a bidirectional mapping, so car also can access with multiple cars. Similarly, person also will access with multiple cars. So person also can access multiple cars, and car also will access multiple persons. Okay. So now we have specified joint table annotation as well. So in many to many relationship, we already discussed in previous lecture, right? So in many to many relationship we will have three tables. One is parent table, another one is child table, and there is a another table, nothing but joint table, to maintain relationship between many to many relationship between person and core table. Okay. So before implementing it, so let me open the database. So as of now we don't have any tables in database. Okay, I have cleared the database table. So for the time being there is nothing tables are available, no, none of the tables are available in database. Okay, so now before okay, let me explain that. Before implementing performing database operations, so this, what about joint table annotation? So joint table annotation, some people may have doubt, so where I need to declare at the rate joint table annotation, whether it is person table or whether it is in cart table. Some people have confusion. So some of the people are saying, some of the students are saying, sir, I saw some examples in Google. So one of the example, they are declared many joint table annotation in uh, one entity, and some other people are declared joint table in another entity. So I got confused. So in which table, for example, any relationship if you want to maintain, so in which entity I have to declare joint table annotation, whether it is in person or whether it is in car entity. So very simple. So at the rate joint table annotation, you have to specify the owner, the entity which is owning the relationship. Very simple. That's the reason initially I told you, first you should identify which entity is owning the relationship. The entity which is owning the relationship, that entity, there only you have to specify joint table annotation. That's it, very simple. If you declare person as owning the relationship, then you have to define at the rate joint table annotation inside that person entity. If you declare your core entity is owning the relationship, then at the rate joint table annotation you have to specify inside the core entity. I hope you guys are understood where to declare at the rate joint table. Okay, so now inside the joint table, so why we need to specify the joint table? So in many to many relationship, we have three tables, right? So person and car, and to maintain many to many relationship, so we need joint table as well. So joint table will have two foreign keys. So one of the foreign keys belongs to primary key in parent table, nothing but the owner of the entity, owning the relationship of entity. Similarly, so another foreign key is nothing but, so car table of primary key. So it's very very easy, guys. Okay, so now, and another concept. So which column I need to define as a join column, and which column I need to declare as a inverse join column? That is also one question. Most of the people don't have knowledge. Directly, blindly they will declare join table annotation, and they will buy out the code. So don't buy out the code. Okay, so very simple. So join column nothing but the person, sorry, the entity who is owning the relationship, that entity's primary key is nothing but join column. And similarly, the entity which is having non-owning relationship, so that entity primary key is nothing but inverse join column. That's it, as much as simple, guys. Everything is depends on who is owning the relationship, who is not owning the relationship. If you identify that, then remaining concepts you can understand very very easily. Okay, so now you know what is the meaning of at the rate many to many relationship annotation, and you know what is the purpose we declared joint table. So the inside the joint table there is a table name is defined, right? So whatever table name if you define inside the joint table annotation, Hibernate will always look for this table, this joint table to insert the data. Okay, so if you don't specify this joint table or inverse column, if you don't specify, then Hibernate will generate person underscore cars as a uh, joint table. So Hibernate will always look for person underscore cars table to maintain the many to many relationship. If you don't specify at the rate join table. So here another most important concept, it is not mandatory to have at the rate join table annotation in many to many relationship. If you don't specify this, and then if you create the table join table with person underscore cars, then hibernate will look for person underscore sorry, if you don't create any table in database, or if you create table in database, if you don't specify at the rate join table, then hibernate always look for person underscore cars as a join table. So it will look for person underscore cars join table to insert to maintain the many to many relationship. If you specify any columns, or if you declared any column names, or if you want to declare any custom column names of join table, then you must specify at the rate join table, and whatever table name which you have specified in join table annotation, so hibernate will always look for this join table in database. So in database, table name should be join table name should be person underscore, otherwise hibernate will throws the exception. So I hope you guys understood when to use join table, when to do not use join table. So based on your requirement, you can specify at the rate join table. If you don't specify, so your join table you have to create it as person underscore cars. If you don't create, or if you are auto generating by hibernate, then hibernate will generate person underscore cars table in database. Okay, so now let's perform database operations, many to many database operations. Okay, so go to our spring boot application main java class, and there we have implements command line runner to execute run method. Okay, so whenever you start the spring boot application, first spring boot will create application context, and then spring boot is going to execute run method. So inside the run method, what are all the statements we have written, so all those statements will be executed. Okay, so from here you can test very simple. Okay, so any to many or any annotation mapping, you can test as much as simple with the help of command line runner, without writing any rest apis, without writing any test cases. You can perform, or you can test association mappings. Okay, so now in this lecture we are going to perform database operations in many to many relationship. Okay, so we have took example of person and car, right? So here person is owning the relationship, so we have to insert person first. Okay, so let me insert the person. Let me create the person object. Person is equal to new person. So you just need to organize the imports, control shift to go. That's it. So now we have to set the data, right? We need to set the data. Person dot set. So primary key we no need to set, because so hibernate will auto generate the primary key, because we have declared at the rate generated value. If you don't specify this at the rate generated value, then you must set the primary key, set 1 or 2 like that. Okay, so since we have declared at the rate generated value annotation, so hibernate will generate the primary key for person table. So that's the reason we no need to set id for person table, so we just need to set the name. So person name, let me give Rohit Sharma. Okay, okay, so next we need to specify, we have created the person, right? We have just to insert the person, so I just set the data in person object. So now we need to set car for the person, right? So we have person is having relationship with cars, right? So we have to set the cars for Rohit Sharma. So let me set the car. So how we can set the car? Person dot set okay, so here set list of cars. So you can here two ways you can insert the cars list. Okay, so how you can insert? So whether you can set, you can create list of cars object and you can pass list of cars to person object. That is one way. Another way, you can add one by one, one car, one by one you can add the cars to specific person. So two ways you can do at a time, by creating list of cars, or you can create one by one cars as well. So let me create cars one by one. So in that time what we have to do? So go to the person. So instead of set cars, instead of setting multiple cars at a time, so I just want to create cars by step, one by one, nothing but one by one. How we can do that? So depends on your requirement, you can do, guys. So if you want to insert list of cars at a time, you can create list of cars and you can set to person object. That is one way. Okay, so another way, you can insert cars one by one by adding the cars. Okay, so I will take a simple example, like just add cars one by one instead of adding list of cars at a time. So what I will do, let me create set cars. Instead of set cars, I will do add car at a time. One car we can add at a time. So in that case, we just need to specify one car object as part of the add car method. So just cars dot put, or cars dot add, I think add. So just add that car object, that's it. So this case what will happen, you can add cars one by one, only one at a time you can add. Okay, so now let me add one by one. So now person dot add car. So now as of now keep it as a null. So to assign the specific car to Rohit Sharma, to allocate specific car to Rohit Sharma, so let me create the car first. So you need to create the car, right? So let me create the car object. Car is equal to new car. Okay, so organize the imports, control shift O, and you have to specify car name set. So you don't need to specify the primary key, you just need to specify the car name. So car, what is the car name? Car name will be BMW. So I am going to assign BMW car to Rohit Sharma. So this car object you have to set person dot add car and just pass that car to person object. So that's it. So whenever you are inserting the data, whenever you are inserting person, so person will insert along with car details BMW. So let me add one more car to Rohit Sharma. So let me add multiple cars to Rohit Sharma, BMW, and let's give this one as a car 1 and car 1 dot BMW. Let me create a car 2 and car 2. So in BMW now I will give Audi car. So two cars object, two cars I have created. So both the cars we need to set for Rohit Sharma. So person dot add car 1 and next person dot add car 2. So I have added two cars to Rohit Sharma. Okay, so now, okay, let me create another person. So just copy paste, and so we have to store, right? So before that we have to store the person. So how we can store the person? With the help of JPA repository. So we are using JPA repository, right? So I'm going to insert the data by using JPA repository. So if you want to insert the person object, we need a JPA repository. So let me create JPA repository object person JPA repository. We haven't created, so let me check. It's not showing nothing, but we haven't created, I think. So repository, yeah, we haven't created. So to insert the data by using JPA repository, so for each and every entity we have to create individual JPA repository to perform database operation. So for core entity, for person entity, we have to create person JPA repository, and for core entity we have to create core JPA repository. So let me create person JPA repository in repository package. So this should be interface and person JPA repository. So this will extend JPA repository. If you don't find the JPA repository, just type here JPA repository. It will come automatically. Just JPA repository and click on finish. So that's it. Your person JPA repository ready. So JPA repository is a generic type. So here you have to specify. So since it is a person JPA repository, we need to pass person entity. That's it. So this ID is primary key of person entity. What is the primary key of person entity? Person ID. So what is the data type? Long. So this long we have to give as a long data type. Okay, so that's it. So we have to declare person JPA repository with @repository annotation. So this class will become as a repository. Okay, so now let me create core JPA repository as well. We need to pass car entity and core entity of primary key data type long. Control Shift to O, organize the imports and specify repository annotation. So this class will become as a repository. So now we have a repository is ready. So why we are extended this JPA repository? Because to insert the data we need a method, save method, in find method and delete methods, everything. So all methods are available in JPA repository. We are just using we are extending JPA repository to perform database operations like insert, update or delete operations. Okay, so all the methods are available inside the JPA repository. Okay, so now let me insert the person Rohit Sharma. So before that we need to create the object, right? So just you need to create the private variable person JPA repository. So who will create this object? So let hibernate, sorry, let spring boot create this object. Okay, so to if spring boot want to create the object of JPA repository, we need to specify @auto while, then only spring boot can create or initialize the JPA repository object. So this is what kind of injection? Field level injection. Okay, so field level dependency injection. Okay, so I already explained in previous lectures, right? So now here, so by using person JPA repository, we are going to insert the person information. Now I just need to pass person, sorry, dot save method. That's it. So now if you execute this class, so person Rohit Sharma will be inserted, and two cars are associated with Rohit Sharma. So one person will be inserted successfully if you execute this class. So let me create a few more customers, sorry, few more persons. So let me, so second person I want to create as a person 2, person2. Okay, and then let me create a person name as Virat Kohli. Okay, why I am giving these names? I am a big fan of Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, guys. That's the reason I always use Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. Okay, so whichever names you want, you can insert it. Okay, uh, so person two, Virat Kohli. So let's add for Virat Kohli. I want to add only one car. So let me remove and car 3. So car 3 I will give. Why I am giving car 3? So already I have created a car 1 object, car 2 objects. So that's the reason individual objects you have to create, right? That's the reason I have given it as a core 3. So for Rohit Sharma, for Virat Kohli, I will assign Rolls Royce. Okay, so let me Rolls Royce. So Virat Kohli will have Rolls Royce car. So let me remove. So to make you understand, let's Virat Kohli will have one car and Rohit Sharma will have two cars. Okay. So let me write a comment here. Adding one person like Rohit Sharma, and next. So here adding one person like Virat Kohli to make you understand, guys. Okay, and so here person two and Virat Kohli will have Rolls Royce and Virat Kohli we have inserted. Okay, so here we have to give person two. So we have to insert Virat Kohli, right? Here person one, here person, and here person two. Okay, so let me give here also person one to it. You will have full clarity. So Rohit Sharma is having two cars, BMW and Audi, and Virat Kohli is having one car, and that is Rolls Royce, right? Car 3, and here also you have give car 3. Car 3 will be Rolls Royce, and person 2 is having Virat Kohli, and you have to add car 3, and person JP repository dot person 2 and person JP repository dot person 1. So both the persons we are going to insert in database. So like that, as many number of you persons you can add, guys. Okay, so let me save this class. So let me check one more time. So car 1 set BMW, car 2 Audi, and both the cars are assigned to Rohit Sharma, and person 1 is inserted. Very simple. Next second. So car 3 created with Rolls Royce, and Rolls Royce is assigned to second person Virat Kohli, and second person is we are inserting here. So two persons with multiple cars we are inserting the data. So if you let me start the Java class. Okay, let me start the Java class. So before inserting, so just open the MySQL Yog and refresh the object browser. So for the timing we don't have any tables. I haven't created the any tables. To save the time, so let Hibernate create the table. Okay, so here guys, you no need to every time auto generate the tables. If you want, you can create tables manually. So in many to many relationship we have three tables, right? Person and car and joint table. So all the three tables you can create manually by using create statements, and you can execute this program. Or another way, so let's Hibernate create the uh, tables for us. Okay, so let's Hibernate create the tables here. I am going this approach. Okay, so ddl auto is defined with update. So what will happen, it will if database tables are inserted available in database, so it will delete and reinsert again. Okay, So let's recreate again. As of now we don't have any tables here, so let me start the application and we'll see Hibernate will create the tables, and Hibernate will create car table and person table and join table, right? So the join table where we have specified, inside the person table we have defined the join table. So all the three tables are going to create in database, right? Who is going to create? Hibernate is going to create, because we have specified ddl auto property in application dot properties. So let me start the server. So here Rohit Sharma is having two cars and Virat Kohli is having one car. So I just started the server. How we can start? Right click and run as and Java application. So let's open the console. Unsaved object reference, and unsaved transient. Why? Because so if you want to see, we got the exception clearly. So whenever you are getting exception, you should feel very happy, because you are getting a chance to resolve the issue or fix the issue. Don't get panic whenever exception comes. So just read the exception. Object reference an unsaved transient instance. So save the transient instance before flushing the entity core. So if you see here, so I have created cars, and that cars I have been set to person object, but I am directly inserting the data person. So but I haven't written the code to insert the car details, right? So see, car jpa repository, we haven't used it to insert the core information. So that's the reason Hibernate is throwing exception, because so person table is having relationship with the cars. So before inserting the person table, so we must insert the car first, right? So that's the reason Hibernate is throwing the exception. So transient. So core, this object is nothing but transient instance. Why? Because this instance is inside the person entity. So what are all the entities which are provided inside the entities? Those entities will be called it as a transient objects. Okay. So before inserting the person, first we have to insert the car first. So two ways we can fix that issue: by manually inserting the car details with the help of car jpa repository. That is one way. Another way, in person details, person entity, you just need to declare cascade is equal to all. So what will happen? The moment you declare cascade is equal to all, Hibernate will insert car details first and then person details second. So we no need to write the code to insert the car details. So I will go second approach. Okay. So let me, before that, let me open the database and refresh the table. See, we don't have any data. Let me refresh the object browser. So three tables are created: car table and person table and join table person underscore car, right? So in many to many relationship we have three tables: join table and two entities. We already discussed in previous lecture, right? So based on our requirement, Hibernate is created a person table and car table and person underscore car join table. Perfect. So now let's insert the data. So let me start the server. I just stopped the server, right? So let me start again. So I am inserting the, I have just specified cascade is equal to all. What does that meaning? When whatever operations are going to perform with the person, operation nothing but database operations. What are all the database operations we are going to perform with person? So same operations are going to perform with car object as well, so child object as well. Okay. So now if you are inserting person data, so child along with the person car details also inserted. If you are updating person details, so car details also are going to update. If you are deleting the person, then car details also going to delete. That is the meaning of cascade type is equal to all. In previous lecture I already explained, right? So now let me start the server. So by the now we should have insert the data in dbs. Okay, so now let me start the application, but this time data will be inserted in database. See, data is inserted successfully. Now let me open the database and refresh object browser, and you can see car table. So total 3 cars are inserted. Why? Because here Rohit Sharma is associated with 2 cars and Virat Kohli is associated with Rolls Royce, right? Total 3 cars. So 3 cars are inserted in car table and person. So we have 2 persons we have created, right? Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. So it started with 3 and 4 guys. Okay. So now Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli is inserted in database, and 3 cars are inserted in car table and joint table. If you see joint table, you can see Rohit Sharma 3. What is the Rohit Sharma's uh, primary key? Rohit Sharma primary key is 3. Okay. So 3 in joint table, so Rohit Sharma 3 is associated 2 cars. See 3, Rohit Sharma 3 is associated with BMW, and Rohit Sharma 3 is associated with Audi car. So Rohit Sharma is having 2 cars, and Virat Kohli 4 is having only 1 car, right? So you can see Virat Kohli is associated with only 1 car, Rolls Royce. So as expected, our data is inserted successfully. Rohit Sharma with 2 cars and Virat Kohli with 1 car. Very simple guys. This is how you can insert the data in many to many relationship. If you want to debug this, so you can debug this application, and you can see how many statements are executed. See, insert into person and insert into car. So how many? So similarly, Rohit Sharma, how many cars? So insert into person, nothing but Rohit Sharma, and insert into car, insert into 2 cars. So Rohit Sharma is inserted with 2 cars. So in background you can see guys. Similarly, Virat Kohli insert into person Virat Kohli, and Virat Kohli is associated with only 1 car, right? So here car table and person table is inserted successfully. So next, what is third table? Joint table. So joint table is inserted at the end. The moment first Hibernate will insert the person table and then car table. Sorry, first Hibernate will insert the person table and car table. Then after that Hibernate will insert joint table. So joint table, why? Because joint table needed foreign keys of person and car entity, car table, right? So both the once the moment car and person is inserted in database, so you will have Hibernate will have primary keys of car table and primary keys of person table. So then Hibernate can successfully insert joint table with the help of foreign keys, which are related with primary key of car and person. That's it. See, now open the database. You saw right clearly. So this is how we have to insert the data in many to many relationship. Very very easy guys. Okay, so let me start the server. What I will do, so now how we can perform fetch operations with many to many relationship. So how we can, so like this, as many number of users you can add, guys. Okay, for the time being I just added two users with one user with two cars, one user with one car. Like that, as many number of users you can add and insert the data. Okay, so in this example I just inserted two records. Okay, so now let me fetch the records from the database in many to many relationship. How we can do that? So before that I want to create this one. I want to separate this logic with persistence, right? So how we can extract this method as a insert operation? So this is like, so guys, before that, so there is a transactional annotation is specified here. Why we have specified at the transactional annotation? So if you don't specify at the transactional here, so only always one record will be inserted, second record will not be inserted if you don't specify transactional. Why? Because so each database operation will execute as a one transaction. So transaction will start here and transaction will end here if you don't specify transactional annotation. So next, once data is inserted, then when it is trying to insert second record, so since there is no transaction is already end here, so since there is no transaction, your second record will not be inserted. So that's the reason I have specified here at the transactional. What will happen? So transaction will start here and transaction will end here. So both the records can be inserted in database. So in next lecture or coming lectures I will explain you transaction management in very depth, guys. Okay. Okay, so now let me extract this persistence database, this insert operation. I want to create it as separate method. So how you can do that? So let me select and you can extract the method. So to extract the method you have to create the function, and inside the function you have to copy this code. So instead of that, let Eclipse is having a lot of features. So just select whichever statement you want to create it as separate method. Just select those statements and right click and refactor, and there is a option called extract method. So here you just give uh, what kind of operation it is. Insert person with car, right? Insert person with cars. So I have created a method like that, insert person with car. Okay, so now I want to comment it out this one. If you run again, so again records will be inserted. So I don't want to insert records again, so just to comment it out. So now I just want to fetch the data. So we already have data, we already have records in database, right? So Rohit Sharma we have, and Virat Kohli we have. Rohit Sharma with two cars and person with Virat Kohli with one car, right? So now let me fetch the database operation in many to many relationship. To fetch the database operation, so let me fetch with the person object. Okay, person is owning the relationship, right? So I want to fetch person details first. Okay, so person. So how you can fetch? So with the help of person jpa repository dot, there is a find by id. I want to fetch specific person. I want to fetch a Rohit Sharma. Okay, so Rohit Sharma is having primary key of 3. So for Rohit Sharma 3, find by id. So there is a predefined method already available in jpa repository. You just need to use that method to find specific person details. So here I want to give Rohit Sharma's primary key will be 3l. Okay, let me get. So what it should return? This will return person details, right? It will return person object. Person is equal. Why giving error? Cannot convert from optional of persons. Yeah, this will return optional of person, right? So let me get the person. How we can get the person? Dot get method. Okay, so now this will return person object. So now I want to display person details with the help of system dot out dot println. So here I want to display person details is equal. Later I will explain you logging framework, guys. So for the timing we are using system. So later I will explain you how to log the message with the help of log4j or slf4j. Okay, I will explain later. So now here person I am going to print person details we are going to print here. So let me display car details of specific person. Okay, so how we can specify car details and person dot there is a method get cars. So now let battery is down again, so let me charge, let me connect the charger, guys. So I just connected the charger. So now you can see so we are going to fetch person details and car details. So which person details I want to fetch? Rohit Sharma. Okay, so Rohit Sharma's primary key in database. Rohit, what is the primary key of Rohit Sharma? 3. So that's the reason I have given 3. So if you are inserted fresh very first time if you insert, then primary key will be 1 and 2. Okay, so now Rohit Sharma I want to fetch. So let me run the, so let me, before that let me clear the console to show you what is happening in background. Okay, and I just commented out insert operation because we already have the data. So we are just fetching the person information. If you again, if you don't comment this one, what will happen? Again duplicate data will be inserted in database. Okay, that's the reason I have commented out inserted insert method. Okay, so now we are just only fetching the information of person and car details with the help of person object. Let me run the application, start the application. See, if you observe, so in background, so select, so whenever person details are displayed, so hibernate is generated the query select column names from person, and whenever person dot get cars method is being called, so then hibernate is generated select column names for person underscore car, and then it is join the table, because so to fetch the car details, so the specific person with car, so it is hibernate is created join table, so joining the other car table to fetch the specific car information related to specific person. So perfectly executed. So you can see person details are displayed here. SOP you can see select person details from person, so person details Rohit Sharma is displayed, and similarly Rohit Sharma is associated with the 2 cars, right? See car details both are displayed successfully. So this is how we can fetch database of we can fetch database records from the database with the help of many to many relationship. So some people may have doubts or why it is joined. So because so if you car table, when you are trying to see, when you are trying to fetch the, so person dot get cars is being called, so that time person is uh, person table is not having primary key, right? You can see person table doesn't have primary key. Person table you have only person information. So to fetch the cars belongs to specific person, so obviously you have to join the table. Which table? Person underscore car. So without joining this table you cannot fetch specific car details of specific person. So that is the reason hibernate is join the table of person underscore car, select person underscore car and join the table. So that's the reason hibernate is join the table. Okay, so now That's it. So let me fetch the details with the car object. So we have bidirectional mapping, right? So in car, so we have fetched the car information along with person detail. So similarly, with the help of car object also we can fetch respective persons as well, because this is bidirectional mapping. So person can access the car information and car also can access the person information. So let me for the timing, let me comment it out, and then let me fetch the car details as well. Okay, with the help of car object. So car is equal to jpa, with jpa repository, uh, car jpa repository, right? Oh, I haven't created the object, so let me create the private car jpa repository and car jpa repository. So car jpa repository object who is going to create, let's spring boot is going to create the object of car jpa repository. So now we have a car jpa repository object ready. So car jpa repository dot find by, I want to switch specific car. So which car I want to let this time, let me fetch Virat Kohli's car. So Virat Kohli, what is the Virat Kohli's car? Rolls Royce, right? So I want to fetch car details of 3. So 3L. Well, why I am giving this is long data type. That's the reason we are giving L. Otherwise, it will not work. So now here dot get. That's it. So this will return car object. So let me display car information and person information. So control A, control shift F to arrange the your statements properly. Control shift F. Okay. So now car dot. So let's this will be car details. Okay. Car dot. Just display the car. That's it. And this will be person details. We are going to access person details along with car details. So car dot get persons. Both the ways we can fetch the values, whether it is with the person, whether it is car. So both the objects we can fetch the details. Okay. So now why this is giving error? Okay, this is comment is not added properly. So let me save. So now car details and person details. If you go and check the console, you can see select column names from car. So car details Rolls Royce is displayed perfectly, and this car is belongs to which person? This car is belongs to Virat Kohli, also displayed successfully with the help of by joining the table. So very easy, guys, if you observe here, so whenever we are trying to fetch the car information, so Hibernate is not fetching the person details. Here you can see only Hibernate is created select column names from car only. So that what is nothing, that is nothing but by default Hibernate in many to many relationship, Hibernate is performing lazy loading operation. So whenever you are trying to fetch the car details, so Hibernate is always fetching the car details. So this is called lazy loading operation. So we haven't declared any lazy here. If you see in person, we haven't specified any fetch type lazy. Without specifying that, Hibernate is performing whenever you are trying to fetch the person details. Sorry, whenever you are trying to fetch the car details, Hibernate is fetching only car details. Whenever you are trying to fetch the specific person details. See specific person details, then Hibernate is fetching person along with car details. So by default in many to many relationship, Hibernate will perform or JP will perform lazy loading operation. If you want to perform eager loading operation, so how you can do that? So just you just need to specify fetch type. Since we are fetching the car details, so inside the car I want to fetch perform eager operation. So this time what will happen? So let's see what will happen. See, if you check the console, see Hibernate is joining with person detail, car details are joining with person details. So whenever you are trying to fetch the car information here, whenever trying to fetch the car information, Hibernate is added join left join with person underscore car join table to fetch the person information along with car details. So this is how you can perform eager loading. So based on your requirement you can specify. If you don't specify uh, eager loading, so by default in many to many relationship it is lazy loading only. So lazy operations is always good for health. Why? Because whenever you need it, that time only it will return the results. Okay, so I already explained you in previous lecture what is eager loading and lazy loading. If anybody who is watching newly, you can watch my previous videos, you can subscribe and watch previous videos to understand all the concept. Okay, so similarly here also guys, so sir only car object or person also will perform lazy loading operation. So person also will perform by default lazy loading operation guys, not only car. Let's check that as well. For the timing I'm just commenting out, just open person, and just before that I just want to clear the console and save the application. So let's see now I'm trying to fetch the person details. See by default whenever person details are person object is being whenever person details are required, so Hibernate is fetching only person information. So here also it is performing lazy loading operations. If you want to perform eager loading, then person table also you have to declare here fetch type eager, then it will do eager loading operation. Okay, same will be applicable for car and same thing will be applicable for person as well. It's very very easy guys. This is how we can perform many to many relationship. Very very easy guys. Okay, so who are all watching newly, you can subscribe my channel. So let's go to youtube.com/@ rasul hyphen sheikh slash playlist. That's it. If you access this link, then you can see my YouTube channel, and then you can access. See here I have specified a list of videos, so you can learn one by one Spring Boot application. You can learn Spring Boot, you can learn JPA, you can learn Spring Data JDBC, and I'm going to upload Angular lectures as well. I'm going to upload Spring Security, I'm going to upload JWT, I'm going to upload Spring Web Applications. So all those things I'm going to upload in the same channel. Okay, so you can learn freely guys who are all watching newly. Okay, you can subscribe and you can watch. Thank you guys. So if you like the video, please subscribe and share it. Okay, so we can I will catch you in next lecture guys. Okay, with new concept. Thank you guys.